The hardest thing for many of us to do is to admit when something is broken. We go through life trying to hold everything together, wearing a smile when we're crumbling inside. We've mastered the art of keeping up appearances, but deep down we know there are cracks in the foundation. Whether it's a broken dream, a fractured relationship, or the collapse of our self-esteem, we've all experienced moments where we feel like life has shattered us into pieces. Yet so often we refuse to face it. We avoid it. We pretend it's not there. But here's the truth. You can't rebuild what you won't acknowledge is broken. There's no progress without honesty. We spend so much time running from the pain, masking our wounds, hiding the scars because we think it makes us look weak. But weakness isn't in admitting something's wrong. Weakness is in ignoring the truth. When something breaks in your house, you don't just leave it. You identify the problem, you look at the damage, assess what's been lost, and figure out how to fix it. Why then do we struggle to do that with ourselves? Perhaps it's fear. Fear that if we confront the brokenness, we won't know how to handle it. Fear that if we speak it out loud, the world will see us differently, or worse, that we'll see ourselves differently. Maybe it's shame. The feeling that we're supposed to be stronger, better, more together than we are. So we bury the broken pieces beneath distractions, beneath work, beneath pretending. But what happens when the cracks grow wider? What happens when the pieces we've ignored begin to fall apart even more? There is a freedom that comes when you're willing to say, this part of my life is broken and I need to fix it. When you're willing to look at the debris, the wreckage, and say, this isn't where I want to be. Acknowledging the broken pieces isn't about focusing on the mess. It's about seeing where you need to begin. It's about getting real with yourself, facing the parts of you that you've been avoiding, and deciding that you deserve better. It's not about judgment, it's about healing. Rebuilding doesn't happen overnight, and it doesn't happen without effort. You see, after the pieces of your life have been scattered, there's a temptation to want everything fixed right away. We live in a world that craves instant gratification, fast solutions, quick fixes, immediate results. But true reconstruction isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. The process of rebuilding is often slow, and at times it can feel frustrating. You'll find yourself wanting to skip steps, rush through the hard parts, and get to the finished product. But let me tell you something, the value isn't just in the outcome, it's in the process. This process is where the real work is done. It's in the day-to-day, brick-by-brick journey that you learn patience, discipline, and endurance. It's in the moments of struggle, in the painstaking work of putting the pieces back together that your character is refined. Reconstruction is about fortifying the foundation, about making sure what you build next isn't fragile or temporary, but solid and lasting. But that takes time, it takes intention, it takes a willingness to go slow when everything in you wants to go fast. And it's not just about rebuilding what you once had, no. The process of reconstruction is about creating something stronger, better, and more aligned with who you've become. That's why you can't rush it. You're not just recreating the past, you're crafting the future. And to do that, you must be willing to commit to the journey, however long it takes. There will be moments when you feel like you're not making progress, moments when the effort seems too great and the results too small. But every step forward, no matter how small, is still movement in the right direction. The process also involves setbacks. Oh yes, there will be moments when things don't go as planned, when the walls you're trying to rebuild fall down again. And in those moments, it's easy to get discouraged, to feel like you're stuck in an endless cycle of failure. But let me remind you that setbacks aren't the end. They're part of the process. Every time you face a setback, you're learning something new about yourself, about what needs to change, about what you need to strengthen. Embracing the process means understanding that progress is not always linear, that sometimes the detours are part of the plan. But here's the key. You must stay committed to the process, even when it's hard, even when it feels like nothing's changing, even when you want to quit. The process will test you. It will push you. It will demand more from you than you ever thought possible. But it's in that demand that you'll discover strength you didn't know you had. You'll find resilience in places you didn't think existed. Because the truth is, reconstruction isn't just about rebuilding your external life. It's about rebuilding you from the inside out. Before you can rebuild anything around you, the first and most critical thing you have to do is renew your mindset. You see, everything starts in the mind. The way you think shapes the way you live. You cannot move forward with the same thought patterns that contributed to where you are right now. If you're holding on to old ways of thinking, outdated beliefs about yourself, or limiting perspectives about what's possible, it's going to be impossible to truly rebuild. Change begins in the mind. Your mindset is the foundation upon which everything else in your life is built. If your mind is stuck in negativity, defeat, or self-doubt, then no matter how hard you work or how many changes you try to make on the outside, you'll keep hitting the same walls, because you can't build a new life with old thinking. You have to challenge those voices in your head that tell you, this is all I can be, or I'm not good enough, or things will never change. Those voices are lying to you. They've held you back long enough, and now it's time to replace them with thoughts that align with the future you want to create. Renewing your mindset means consciously deciding to think differently. It means recognizing the thought patterns that no longer serve you and choosing new ones that empower you. It's not an easy task. We are often so used to thinking in certain ways that we don't even realize we're doing it. Those limiting beliefs become automatic, a part of our internal dialogue that plays on repeat. But to rebuild yourself, you've got to break this cycle. You have to become aware of your thoughts, catch the negative ones when they arise, and intentionally replace them with thoughts of possibility, hope, and strength. Renewing your mindset isn't about simply thinking positive or brushing over reality. It's about creating a new mental framework that supports your growth. You must train your mind to see the opportunities where you once saw obstacles. When you renew your mindset, you begin to look at challenges differently. Instead of seeing them as barriers, you see them as stepping stones. Instead of being held back by fear, you start to embrace the potential for growth. This doesn't mean that fear won't exist. It will, but when your mindset is renewed, you have the tools to overcome it. The mind is a powerful thing. It's the engine behind every decision, every action, every belief. But just like any engine, it needs maintenance, it needs fine-tuning. The thoughts you feed your mind will determine the results you see in your life. If you fill your mind with doubt, fear, and self-sabotage, that's exactly what will manifest in your reality. But if you renew your mindset with thoughts of resilience, determination, and possibility, you'll start to see doors open that you never even knew existed. Renewing your mindset also means letting go of the past. So many of us get stuck because we're clinging to old failures, old mistakes, or old identities. But you cannot rebuild if your mind is still focused on what was. You have to allow yourself the space to grow beyond who you used to be. You have to give yourself permission to become something new, something greater. Holding on to past failures only anchors you to a reality that no longer exists. When you renew your mindset, you let go of the weight of past mistakes and begin to envision a future that reflects the person you are becoming. And let me tell you, this is a daily practice. Renewing your mindset isn't something you do once and walk away from. It's something you must commit to every single day. Each morning when you wake up, you have to decide to renew your mind. You have to consciously choose to reject old patterns and embrace new, empowering thoughts. You have to build mental strength, just like you would build physical strength, by continually training your mind to think in alignment with your goals, your values, and your vision. There is a power inside of you that is greater than any obstacle you faced. greater than any storm that's come your way. Too often we look outward for strength, waiting for something external to give us the push we need. We seek validation, encouragement, and support from others, thinking that if someone else tells us we're strong, then maybe we'll believe it. But the truth is, the strength you need has always been within you. You are stronger than you think, but you've got to tap into that strength. When life knocks you down, it's easy to forget how resilient you truly are. It's easy to feel overwhelmed, to feel small, to feel like the challenges you're facing are too great. But every one of us has a well of inner strength, a reservoir of resilience that we've been building up our entire lives. Every time you've been through something difficult and survived, every time you've faced adversity and kept going, you've been adding to that reservoir. It's there waiting for you to access it. The problem is many of us never fully tap into our inner strength because we don't believe it's there. We look at our struggles and think, I can't do this, or this is too much for me to handle. But what if I told you that the very fact that you're still standing, despite everything you've been through, is proof that you've already been using your inner strength. You've been stronger than you've realized all along. The issue isn't whether or not you have strength. The issue is whether or not you believe in it. Utilizing your inner strength means you have to shift your focus from what's happening around you to what's happening within you. It's easy to get caught up in the chaos of life, in the external circumstances that seem out of your control. But your strength doesn't come from what's happening outside of you. It comes from within. It comes from the determination in your heart, the resilience in your spirit, and the fire in your soul. You've been given everything you need to handle whatever life throws your way. The key is learning to trust that inner strength, even when it feels like everything is falling apart. And here's the thing, inner strength isn't always loud. It doesn't always roar. Sometimes it's a quiet persistence, a steady determination that refuses to give up, even when the odds are stacked against you. It's the voice inside that says, I'm not done yet, when the world is telling you to quit. It's the part of you that keeps pushing forward, even when the path is unclear. That's inner strength. It's not always about being the strongest in the room. Sometimes it's about being the one who refuses to back down. There will be moments in your rebuilding process when you feel weak, when you feel like you don't have the energy or the will to keep going. But those are the moments when your inner strength will rise to the surface if you allow it. Those are the moments when you'll discover just how powerful you really are. It's not about never feeling tired, never feeling afraid, or never feeling uncertain. It's about continuing to move forward despite those feelings. Inner strength doesn't eliminate fear. It empowers you to move forward in the face of it. And let me tell you, your strength isn't just for you. When you tap into your inner strength, you don't just rebuild yourself, you inspire others. People around you are watching how you handle your struggles, how you rise after you've fallen. And when they see you tap into that inner strength, when they see you keep going even when it's hard, they're reminded of their own strength. You become a beacon of what's possible, a living example of what it looks like to overcome. But here's the thing, inner strength doesn't mean you have to do it all alone. You can be strong and still ask for help. You can be resilient and still lean on others when you need support. Utilizing your inner strength means knowing when to stand firm and when to allow others to lend their strength to you. It means recognizing that strength isn't about isolation. It's about knowing that you have the power within you to persevere, but also the wisdom to accept help when it's needed. Tapping into your inner strength also means recognizing that every challenge you face is an opportunity to grow stronger. The more you push through, the more resilient you become. The more obstacles you overcome, the more you realize just how powerful you are. Life will continue to throw difficulties your way, but each one is another chance for you to dig deeper into that reservoir of strength you carry inside. Every time you think you've reached your limit, you'll find there's more strength waiting for you just beneath the surface. In conclusion, rebuilding yourself is not just about piecing together what was broken. It's about becoming stronger, wiser, and more resilient than before. It begins with acknowledging the areas in your life that need repair, confronting the truth of your struggles, and being willing to embrace the long, often difficult process of reconstruction. Renewing your mindset is essential because your thoughts shape your reality. As you shift your thinking, you unlock new possibilities for growth. And above all, never underestimate the power of your inner strength. There's a well of resilience within you that can rise to meet any challenge if you trust in it. This journey of rebuilding is not a one-time event. It's a continual process of growth and transformation. Embrace the process, lean into your strength, and know that what emerges from your rebuilding will be more powerful and purposeful than anything you've left behind.